It was the morning after the 11th of September 2001. The smoke still rose from the ruins of the Twin Towers, and lower Manhattan was covered in dust and silence. The sound of sirens replaced the sound of the city. The next 72 hours would become one of the largest rescue and recovery efforts in modern history. Thousands of firefighters, police officers, paramedics, and volunteers from across the United States rushed to New York City. They came not only to search for survivors, but to help a nation stand again. The site was soon called Ground Zero, a place where destruction met courage. The first 24 hours were chaotic. Search teams worked without rest, guided by faint voices and hope. Heavy machinery was brought in to lift steel beams, but much of the work was done by hand, piece by piece, bucket by bucket. Firefighters used radios, flashlights, and dogs to locate survivors trapped beneath the debris. Every small sound gave them reason to keep going. By the second day, engineers and emergency planners arrived to stabilize what remained of the towers. Structural experts warned that parts of the debris pile could still collapse. Despite the danger, rescuers continued. They tied themselves to ropes, moved carefully through heat and smoke, and dug wherever hope still lived. Medical tents were set up around the area. Hospitals across New York prepared for survivors, but soon it became clear the number of rescues would be few. The focus shifted to recovery, identifying victims, collecting evidence, and securing the area for investigators. Across the country, ordinary citizens lined up to donate blood, food, and supplies. Schools paused classes to hold moments of silence. Television stations played continuous coverage, but behind the headlines were thousands of human stories of teamwork, compassion, and sacrifice. By the third day, more than 10,000 emergency workers were at Ground Zero. Teams from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and even Canada joined in. Specialists used cranes, cutting tools, and search and rescue robots, some of the earliest ever used in such missions. These innovations later shaped how emergency responses are done worldwide. In those 72 hours, the United States witnessed both its greatest loss and its greatest unity. Firefighters who had lost their own families kept working beside volunteers they had never met. Faith groups opened shelters. Restaurants cooked for responders day and night. The entire city became a network of helpers. The rescue officially turned into recovery after the third day, but the work continued for months. For those who were there, the memory of those 72 hours never faded. It taught future generations about emergency management, teamwork, and human resilience lessons now studied in universities and disaster response programs around the world. The 72 hours after 9/11 were not just a rescue mission, they were a lesson in humanity, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, knowledge, coordination, and courage can rebuild hope.